This screen door I built totally on the fly. So what we have here is pine stiles and everything else is oak. And this is oak lattice. It's a 1 inch by a 1/4 inch. Had to soak it overnight. So let me show you how we do it. So I did a lot of research on Pinterest, on YouTube, on the internet for how to make a screen door. And I was surprised at how very few, very good instructions I got. So I decided I would do it without any instructions. I could figure it out. So I didn't find many helpful screen doors for what I wanted. They're very basic. And I decided I would build one with a little bit different look than anything I had seen. This is what I came up with. So before I went to my big box store, in my case Lowe's, I decided I would stop by the Pulte lumber yard and see what I could find. For those of you that don't know, the Pulte lumber yard is affectionately referred to as a place where they're building houses and they have these big box trash bins out front of the house, and so they throw away stuff that they don't need. So I found some nice solid oak planks that are a full 1 inch thick, and I said I could use those for rails. Then I found this solid oak stair riser. I said that's perfect. I could use that for the base kick plate on my screen door. Then I found this 1 inch by a 1/4 inch solid oak, and I'll call it lattice for lack of a better frame. And I said I can make a nice little weave pattern on the bottom of the door. So we'll see what we can do. So actually the only thing I bought so far are these 1x4s for the side pieces for the screen door. So let's get started. So I cut the groove in the kick plate 1/4 inch, enough so that my 1/4 inch will fit. And now I'm going to cut the two side pieces. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so what we have is our oak strips. These are 1/4 inch thick by inch wide, soaking in water overnight, so we can see if we can bend these. So if we take a look at what we can do with the bend in these without any, that's a lot farther than you can bend this that hadn't been soaking.
After we trim the vertical pieces to the proper length, we inserted them into the grooves for the two rails and inserted those very loosely. And then the next step, which actually took us almost 40 minutes of weaving them, I have edited down to just a few seconds and sped up the time frame so you can see it fast motion.
Okay, so that's all we have going that direction.
So this one doesn't need to go in?
No.
Okay.
One of the oak strips cracked significantly enough and we had to replace it. This piece right here is showing us removing it and putting in a replacement strip. The closer to the top that we got with the slats, the tighter it got. So we had to resort to one person doing the hammering to insert the strip and the other person doing the weaving to bend the boards back and forth. It was this method that helped us be able to put in the last couple pieces that got to be extremely tight. So after we got all of our pieces in, we used a board and hammered the vertical and horizontal pieces to line up with the blue pieces of tape we had for reference marks for where we needed the slats to be for our alignment.
So here's what our weave did on our oak that we soaked overnight. We have a couple minor cracks, but we're hoping those don't go any further. We'll sand those. And so today's task is to basically put our little... So I want to fit my plug for my pocket holes in here, but you can see these come oversized, and so you can glue them in and then sand them all down, or you can sand them first and then do that. But this will take a fair amount of sanding here, so I think I'm going to elect the other route. Quite uniquely, it goes just slow enough that I can sand this without danger of taking off my fingers. So here's two plug pocket holes that I've sanded down to be nearly flush. I don't want to go any farther. I get them below the surface. Here's two as they come out of the box. You can see they're above the level of the board. And here's the ones that are sanded down, and hope that they'll be able to sand a little bit further once we put our flat sander on it. So here's the things I'd consider modifying or changing were I to redo this screen door. So as I cut my dado all the way from the end all the way up to the first rail crossbar, I realized that once I cut this in here, I really needed something so I could attach this rail into here, so I glued a 1/4 inch piece into this section so my pocket hole screws would hold. So modifying this, I would stop about here on the dado cut, and again would do the same thing up here on the other side for this first cross member rail. Other than that, I like it. It turned out great. So now we're going to stain it. So if you liked our video, be sure and give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe down below and come back and see us again real soon.